This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save even more with limited-time doorbuster deals. Save $5 on 24-count Contractor's Choice 42-gallon trash bags, now just $14.78. Plus, get your choice select DeWalt Elite Series saw blades for $9.98. Not a Pro Rewards member? Join for free today at Lowe's. Valid through 9/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
There's a reason Chevy trucks are known for their dependability, because they show up no matter the weather, push forward no matter the terrain, and deliver. That's why Chevrolet has earned more dependability awards for trucks than any other brand in 2025, according to J.D. Power. Because in every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard. Visit Chevy.com to learn more. Chevrolet received the highest total number of awards among all the trucks in the J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Study. Awards based on 2022 models. Newer models may be shown. Visit JDPower.com/awards for more details. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Two-time Stanley Cup champion Paul Maurice will be joining us here in a few minutes.
That bore.
The preseason has begun, and the Panthers don't seem to be taking it terribly seriously. Matthew Tkachuk was going to jump into the pool with Pat McAfee. Matthew Tkachuk, everyone speaks highly of Matthew Tkachuk. Everyone likes everything that guy's about.
He gets it, man. And he's been such a great ambassador for the sport. Last week I said, including LeBron, name a more impactful sports acquisition in this pro market. When you apply the context of where the Panthers were as a franchise, it's not even particularly close. The impact, the game-changing impact, franchise-changing, altering impact that Matthew Tkachuk has had. And from observing him and hanging out with him some, I've always known he's been a great ambassador for the game because he's a good talker. He's always eager to do these interviews with everybody. But to see fans, Miami's an event town. Miami still has a long way to go in terms of being a hockey market. There are a lot of people that are going up to him, just curious, what is this big hoopla? And every child that goes up to him, it's not just a pat on the head and a picture that would make somebody's day. It's a sit-down conversation. Make sure I give you my time.
He was happy to talk to everyone.
The guy knows. He just gets it. What a great ambassador for South Florida sport. He's the first ever hockey player to make picks on College game day. He's a star. His play deserves being a star, but his attitude and his approach to fans and the sport and making people fans of his and the sport, I can't say enough good things about the guy.
I think he's perfect. I think he's everything you want. If I'm Gary Bettman and I ask him, who do you think or who do you want to be the face of your league, I pick Matthew Tkachuk. He plays for the two-time championship team. He's engaging. He's arguably the best American player in the league. He's exactly who you want.
I told him. I wanted to make sure. I mean, somebody's told him in the last couple of years, but I wanted to make sure to hear from me. And I told him, like, you have any idea how horrendous this franchise was for my entire life before these last couple of years? I wanted to make sure you knew, Dan.
Is it weird for like a 50-year-old to be saying that to a 27-year-old?
Okay, I'm not 50, number one. All right.
You know how important you are to me.
I didn't say it like that.
You mean so much.
I've been around athletes before. All right. There's no starstruck here.
So much,
I didn't sound like a jerk like that. Get out of here.
So happy. My kids beat me up. Will one's here today, right? He could just come and smack you across the head.
He's not the one that'll challenge him.
Yeah, that one's not old enough.
He's not allowed to. Why? You don't think you could take him? I think it'd be a fair fight. Sizing the two of you up.
There were some people that were a little disappointed in Matthew Tkachuk being the game day picker. I guess they wanted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or some superstar, but to have that guy go out there decked out in UM gear, holding up UM hockey jerseys, and then be like, no, I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to pull up with a huge Panthers cooler with about 6 of my teammates. Hey, this is Anton. Let me introduce you. Go up to a tailgate, listen to all sorts of Bad Bunny, and just like throw them back and just enjoy the day. That dude has a VIP treatment waiting for him at Hard Rock Stadium. No, I'm going to talk to the team. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave my cooler here. I want to be amongst the people. These guys are great.
We're going to get to Paul Maurice in a second, but first I got to make fun of me, myself, and Chris Cote. I will again remind you that while giving you betting advice a while ago, Orioles starter Trevor Rogers was going in the game, and Chris Cote bet against the Orioles only because it was Trevor Rogers. And my only analysis is you throw that guy out there, you're going to get an ERA over 5. Since then, go ahead and play the stat of the day music so that people can hear just how good Trevor Rogers has been this season.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Dan, to make this even worse for me, my exact quote when I talked about Trevor Rogers months back was, if I know anything in this world, it's you bet against Trevor Rogers. No pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball has had 17-plus starts in a season and allowed fewer earned runs than starts. 17 starts, no one's ever had fewer earned runs than starts. Trevor Rogers has a chance to make history this season. With his 17 starts, he's allowed 16 earned runs all season.
What?
And I said months ago, if I know anything in this world, you bet against Trevor Rogers.
Are you aware of just how long baseball's history is and how many pitchers have thrown baseballs in that sport? For that to be what haunts us following that analysis. You understand how many arms have thrown baseballs without being as good as the left arm that Trevor Rogers has had this season?
I don't get it, because he wasn't that good with us.
No, he was terrible.
And I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched a single start with the Orioles. What's happened?
Since the 1880s, people have been pitching.
The Orioles are also a team that I told you would be great for 10 years because of their farm system. They've been betrayed by pitching this year. And also, at least the Braves have injuries to look at.
Not making excuses for them. They suck.
Well, the Orioles ran into the Yankees this weekend, and there was a baseball storyline that I was actually into because of the local times, because Giancarlo Stanton hit his 450th home run of his career against the Orioles. I didn't know he was that high. I didn't know that he was up to.
He's going to sneak into the Hall of Fame.
He's apparently the 5th youngest to reach that number. And obviously, you're talking about all-time greats. In terms of modern era, it's just McGuire and A-Rod. And A-Rod was playing when he was 18 years old. That got to that number quicker than Giancarlo Stanton. I don't know if he has. I know the production later in his career, and he's been hobbled by injuries. I don't know if this is a guy that could be in that conversation, especially given where he is in age. But I would love to see him have a healthy go at it because he's still got incredible pop.
I think all 500 home run guys are in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if the sport has changed so much now that
there's a lot that aren't.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Jose Canseco is
an A-Rod
Gary Sheffield,
the leader of
A-Rod.
But how much?
a bunch.
Yeah, how much of that
Rafael
is
Palmeiro.
But all of that is steroid speculation.
Right.
And Giancarlo being built the way that he has, but he's had the benefit of playing in this era where they have all this rigorous testing, rigorous in air quotes. I mean, I don't know, but he's never. Remember when he was approaching that home run record? Everyone's like, finally, this is a legit one potentially. That's why the Maurice family was there. He's not a guy that has steroid allegations following him like the others you just outlined.
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer, and keep in mind he's done a fair amount of time on the injury list. Like, he would be over 500 if he were healthier.
This episode is supported by FX's The Lowdown, starring Ethan Hawke. Allow us to introduce you to Lee Raybon, a quirky journalist / rare bookstore owner / unofficial truth seeker who's always on the tail of his latest conspiracy. This time, his most recent expose puts him head to head with a powerful family that rules Tulsa, meaning only one thing: he must be onto something big. FX's The Lowdown premieres September 23rd on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Howdy, it's Mike, and football season is here. It is quite possibly every sports fan's favorite time of year. It's a real special time. Make your football special time a Miller time, please, because I know from experience, having that beautiful white can by my side or a draft at the sports bar while the big game is on, man, all those memories, having that Miller Lite there, knowing that it's a beer that just hits different. Look, at the tailgate, there's nothing like cracking open a Miller Lite with your crew. Whether it's that touchdown you didn't see coming or just arguing about fantasy lineups you already know you're going to lose, Miller Lite has been the taste you can depend on for 50 wonderful years. Brewed for flavor, with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. Miller Lite, great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time! Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces!
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Don Batard. Florida claws back from down 2-0 because they were getting their asses handed to them by Toronto to then get lit afire underneath them by their head coach, Paul Maurice, who did the thing. Remember how the run was sparked last year? Stugotz. He called them a bunch of P's and B's. He did the thing again. Called them a bunch of P's and B's, and then, boom. 5 unanswered. You win the division.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
There he is. Does it make you happy to see him, Zaslow? Does it make you happy? Look at this man.
I love this man.
He has brought champion. Look, Zaslow. He's whispering your name.
Yeah.
Look at.
What? The man who travels. Awesome.
There you go. That's my guy right there. That's my coach.
That's it. We appreciate that's commitment, my friend. That's casual fans. No, that's the guy who cuts his vacation short to root on the home team. That's something. That's props to you.
Oh, man. Props to you? What do you mean props to me? Props to you. You brought so much joy into my life, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice of journalists.
Stop talking. He's saying nice things about me, Greg.
Sorry. You're right.
No, we all shared it together. That's the great part of these runs, right? Everybody's got a story, and everybody's stories is important. Like everybody, like families get together, families ostracize somebody who can't win a game when they're in the room, so they stick them upstairs. I mean, that happens at my house, right? I got a young kid that has to watch it from the bedroom upstairs, can't watch it in the main floor. We just can't win, so we got our priorities set.
Paul, when you got to South Florida, what did your greatest dreams look like, and have you already exceeded them?
This is so far beyond that, and it's beyond the winning. And I want to be hypocritical or full of it. You win the Stanley Cup, everything's going to be pretty good, right? Like you can probably get through anything that's not real good if you're winning the cup. But beyond the cups, the professional experience here is fantastic, right? These men are incredible to work with. They work hard. They don't mind being pushed. They want to win. They take care of each other. They're good. You know what? They treat each other great, but they also treat everybody else, right? The equipment guys, the medical guys, the flight attendants, everybody. They're very appreciative of the situation that they're in, and that makes coming to the rink a lot of fun.
How unusual is it? I see them vacationing together with their families. And how unusual is what looks like love to me among your players? Yeah. How unusual is that?
Well, I do think it's part of the culture of our sport. So the game, the demands of the game kind of drive men together, if you would. It's an 82-game schedule, full contact, high-speed sport where you play with pain, right? You don't lay on the field. You get up and you play with it. So there's a connection that happens with them. And because there's 82 games, there's an awful lot of highs and lows, and I think that makes the wives and the extended family close. And then you add in just great memories, right? They're just fun. The guys are fun to be around because they won together. So I think we have that, but we have that on the road too. They have big group dinners. They spend an awful lot of time with each other because they love each other.
Last year's team better than the original champions?
Probably a higher talent level through a better depth and possibly better role definition when you look at kind of what happened to our team when Greer, Nosek, and Gadjevich came back into the lineup. They're a defined style of play, which is different than everybody else's. So we had, I don't know, texture is the word in my head, but we had a different look on each line, a different feel, so we could play the game in a bunch of different arenas and a bunch of different styles and be successful.
Coach, we've seen the clips over the few years that you've been here where you're not afraid to grill your guys during the game, to yell at them during the game, to motivate them the way that you do during the game. You don't see that in the other pro sports here in this country. What is it about hockey players where you're still able to coach them like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's part of maybe even the fun of it, right? Like first of all, I got a tremendous amount of respect for these players, and they know that by the way I treat them, and I know that by the way they treat the whole coaching staff. But you get into those games now, they're wired too, right? Like you've had way too much coffee by the time you hit the bench. You're wired. You get into those playoffs games. So it's not a personal assault to them. We're trying to get the whole group to another level, and they're all smart enough to understand that's what's going on. So they're in on it, right? Like they're kind of feeding off you. There's times where you're just trying to reach the energy level on the bench, or now we're at a point that we've all agreed on playing the game a certain way. And when it's not being played, you don't have to jump on them right away. We talk about it, but that you hit a threshold where you need to get their attention back on the game. I don't do it nearly as much as maybe I would have done it in the past. I don't need to. But when it's done, right? So when they come back to the rink the next day, that's over. We'll deal with it and move on. They say there's no doghouse. There just isn't. We're here to perform every single day. We're not hitting that mark every day. We're going to have our failures, and we need those. So when you're having your failures, maybe you let them go a little bit because you know what they've done and you've seen it, but you just can't let it go too long.
Paul, can you give us an idea what the last few years have meant to you on the most personal level beyond hockey? Because when you got here, you were the most accomplished, longest-serving coach, the winningest coach in the NHL history, who had never won a Stanley Cup, and now you've won 2 in a row. What has that meant to you on the most personal level?
That's, I don't even know that I've fully sorted that out yet, right? That will be a backward-looking thing. I can tell you, I'm trying to, I answered the question earlier, and I still don't have a great answer because I'd be lying to you if it's in the Stanley Cups didn't make all the difference. They made a huge difference. But where you get some kind of joy in your life is doing something that's possibly that has some value outside the game. So just being around these players and seeing a different look of pro sports, right? Like we have about 8 or 9 guys who took less money to play here. That you just don't see that, right? It just doesn't happen, and there's a reason for it, because you got to look at the Florida Panthers as kind of like the total compensation package. It's not just about the money, but they have friendships, their brothers in there, they care about each other, so they get to come to the rink like that every day. That's part of South Florida. The weather's great. Mr. Viola treats us great. We're in this incredible practice facility. The staff here tries to move them forward, make them better. It's not a there's not a lot of conflict about getting better. They want to get better. We want them to get better. So you get to have this completely different pro sport experience, and hopefully, at some point, that gets emulated. That this is looked at a way that you can win. It doesn't. We want to work harder than everybody in the league, but we also want to have more fun than anybody in the league. So we laugh, we joke, we enjoy our days here, and that for me has been, I'll go back to it. When you win, you get to enjoy your day a little bit differently, right? So I'm aware of that impact it's had, but the players first. The players have had a greater impact on the coaches, I think, than the coaches have had on the players.
3 straight Stanley Cup final. You basically played an extra season of playoff games. How are you going to work around this wear and tear?
Yeah, we're not going to try to. So, I'll give you an example. Our veterans haven't been on the ice yet. So we pushed training camp for those guys 1 week back. And it will probably be viewed from the outside that you're trying to get them more rested, but that's not the case. What we're trying to do is get another week of training time. So we go hard here. So the first time that we hit the ice on Thursday, they can't individually train anymore. There's nothing left of them. So we gave them another week so they could train. And that would be the piece that's missing. But our season ended a week earlier last season, right? So we finished on the 17th instead of the 24th. So we get another week of training. I understand they're not training that week, they're celebrating, but that has to happen. Then they have to recover and rest, and we got to get all the injuries taken care of, and then they start training. So we pushed training camp back a week. So we got another 2 weeks of training for them. The early routine returns on their fitness level is outstanding. We think we've made improvements, and it's hard for these guys to make improvements now just because they're at that marginal rate. None of our guys are getting 10% fitter. There's not 10% left for them to get more fit. So they've trained harder, and then we're going to go real hard, and we're not going to spend any time worrying about fatigue or overuse because everybody's tired in January. Everybody is. So you just got to get used to it.
Coach, who's the craziest guy you've had in your time with the Panthers? I'm thinking back first year, Radko Gudas. You had Lomberg, seems like a wild man. Gadjevich last year. Kachuk seems like he's got some screws loose. Who's the craziest guy?
Yeah, I can't pick a dude because, so what's great about what you just said is you mentioned a bunch of guys that aren't here anymore, but they're still, their personalities stay, they're still part of the group. Like we still tell stories about those guys. And then even, we've got this I'm almost like a weird bunch of guys. We've got an incredible bunch of different personalities in that room. And we encourage that. Like, we're not trying to make them all one player. We're just getting them to all play one game with their different personalities. But we get in northern parlance, we got some beauties in that room. We do.
Goalies are strange. Do you coach Bobrovsky or do you leave him alone?
No. Yeah, I talked to him. He's an incredibly interesting guy. You want to talk about an interesting life and things he's been through. The way he trains, I don't know anything about goaltending. I know a little bit about body language of goaltenders and kind of what they go through. They carry a different kind of pressure than anybody else. I mean, other than a shutout, they don't get the same kind of payoff, right? They don't get to score a goal. They don't get to score the game winner. So it's a completely different mentality in that net. I just try to get to know them, get to feel what they need from the coaches. We got a guy named Robbie Tallis here who's the goalie coach, and he's brilliant. So I just leave him to that. Robbie, the last 2 years, has basically laid out the regular season schedule, and other than 1 or 2 games kind of on illness, we haven't made an adjustment to it. So we go into the coach's office in between periods. I don't do this to Sergei anymore because he's just been too good. But you complain about a goal or two, and then the goalie coach kind of gives you a knowing nod and say, "Okay, you've had your say. Now move on." Right? It's a nice. Robbie does a great job of telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about without making me feel that. So that's how that works.
All right. So your answer was no. I don't coach him at all. I talked to him.
Coffee.
All right.
Coffee. If we hit each other at the coffee places, we'll talk how the family is, how the kids are. Yeah, that's it.
Fill in the blank for me here a little bit rapid fire. The toughest player I have is blank.
No, there's a toss-up in between Sam Bennett and probably Aaron Ekblad. But here's the problem. I got 4 guys on the back end who separated shoulders last year in the playoffs. Right? Like over grade 1 shoulder, and they never missed a game. So if I give you one guy, I'm being disrespectful to Sam Bennett, who played an entire playoff round with a broken foot and didn't tell anybody. So, that was a grade 2 knee sprain that Sam Reinhart suffered. I don't know who the toughest guy is. Whoever the most injured guy in our room, that's the toughest guy we got, because he's probably still in
the best leader I have is blank.
The best leader?
Yes.
About an 18-inch steel one for pike fish. You guys don't freshwater fish. Yeah, because it goes back to the strength of our room. There are different leadership styles in our room, but it's the guy that we need that night. That's the best leader.
What was your reaction when Bill Zito told you that we got Brad Marchand? What was your reaction when that happened?
Well, I've desensitized to it now, so I'll take you back. The summer that I get the job, he calls me and he says, "I think I can get Matthew Tkachuk, but the price is going to be pretty high." And I got off the phone. I thought, "You're crazy. You're not getting Matthew Tkachuk. Like, I mean, it's just not happening. And then he calls back 15 minutes later and says, I just made the trade. So now, you know, we've over the course of the years there, we've added these players. Seth Jones would be the next one. He started firing out Seth Jones' name like in the summer, last summer. There might be a guy that we can, and I'm thinking there's no way you're getting Seth Jones. So when he says the Brad Marchand one was unusual because it's a half hour before the trade deadline and I'm packing my office up because nothing, it's over, right? There's nothing else going to happen. And that one surprised me, to say the least.
Did you dislike him before that?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think as much as Matthew Tkachuk. I think I disliked Matthew more than Brad. And the reason I didn't mind Brad as much is when we played them in the Game 7s, in the 7-game series and beat them, he gave an interview about Game 5 to a Boston reporter, and it was perfect. It was like incredible leadership things that he said. He was very respectful for how hard we play. He wasn't complaining. He wasn't whining. It was a full-on brutal series. It was a battle. There were guys going after each other, but he handled it like such a leader, such a man. And so I had a little more room for him. I didn't fully appreciate, believe it or not, how good he is. So I don't think that you fully, I mean, you watch the games, but you almost need to see him in practice every day to see the skill set that they have. And I don't know that I fully appreciated how good his hands are.
But Tkachuk wasn't a leader, what you're saying before he got here. He's just kind of like a scumbag that he hated.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not going to attach myself to that word. I'm going to leave that one to you. No, good move. But for all the reasons, right? He's in Calgary, I'm in Winnipeg. We play each other an awful lot. We played each other in the playoffs. And he has that ability he has an incredible ability to sense what a game needs. And he'll get through a lot of nights very quietly. Now, he might score, but he's not starting any fires. But if he needs to, he has a great sense of when and how.
Coach, my final question is, I love you.
I love you too.
I love you too,
and thank
Coach.
you.
I love you.
Okay, I appreciate it. So the question says there's medical help for that, fellas. There are good professionals out there you guys can go see. They can help you.
So much.
They love you too.
You love
Appreciate
him
it.
now. Have you told him to his face the way you told
Don't worry
Tkachuk
about that. Everybody's allowed to be wrong once. Don't worry about that.
Called you the murder of fun when you first got here,
The
Coach.
murder
Why are you
of
snitching?
fun.
But that would be accurate. That would be fair.
Thanks, Coach.
That would be fair. The first part was we had to get to a whole bunch of hard things, so there wasn't much fun. And I had that exact meeting in January that year, and there was a little bit different language, but you're not allowed to have fun in the NHL when you play like that. So you're right. I did kill the joy. You were 100% right.
I knew it.
Good seeing you, and congratulations, Coach. It was
Thanks,
nice
guys. Appreciate it.
talking to you.
Okay.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Don Batard.
Our Panther group chat, we're confident against the Lightning. This is a different team.
Yeah. You're a Panther group chat, though.
No, I think no, but dude, you're so wrong on that. We've been terrified of this team forever, and I think there's a different energy where the Panthers, they want the Lightning.
Stugotz.
I want T-shirts made for this Panther run. What could be this Panther run? Our Panther group chat, we're not afraid of the Lightning.
That's a tagline for World War 3.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
He said some stuff there that I have not heard.
Called Kachuk a scumbag. It's insane.
He did not say that.
Actually distanced himself from us. Put it all on you like a real pro.
Yeah.
That was not what I thought was interesting from what it is. I had not heard that stuff on Kachuk, on Marchand. That is not. I was not aware. I was not aware of the acquisition and how that went down, because it sounds like it sort of went down the same way that Tyreek Hill went down for Mike McDaniel, where you're getting a call and as the coach you don't believe that something is going to happen, and then 15 minutes later it actually happens.
Did you guys get that pike fishing?
That went way over my head.
Yeah.
I was like, fishing.
The leader
It was funny though.
It's on the reel.
Yeah,
you got a leader.
I was trying to figure. He said leader. I was thinking liter, like T.
No, that's the metric system.
Exactly.
Is that
but
a cliche?
Canadian, so I'm trying to figure it out.
I need to know. I was just like, great answer,
You're
coach.
so funny and charming.
You're funny.
What other sport does the coach specifically not know how to coach a certain player on the team?
I bet that's common with goaltenders, though, right? I
Right,
mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're a whole different ballgame, those guys. Especially when they're Russian, they don't speak the language.
Well, the language is part of it.
Took that to a spot.
Frank Robinson one time told me while he was managing the Expos that he didn't even speak to Vladimir Guerrero because he didn't want anything to get lost in the translation. So he just left him totally alone and just let him hit the baseball, and didn't want anything to be misconstrued in texture or tone when he was talking to him, because he thought he might be feeling reprimand when he's not reprimanding him.
Bob speaks English.
Yeah, he does. But still, that position, though, is just different.
Yes, everybody will tell you.
Right.
It's like closers. They're just like certain positions that there's like an accepted level of idiosyncrasies.
But the baseball manager knows about pitching.
I
think they know the basics.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I just nodded along to a fishing reference I didn't get.
We're not fishermen around here. I believe that Jessica is the only accomplished fisher person that we have around
Roy's got
here.
an award.
Yeah, and he used to wear a hook on his hat.
That's right.
That's great.
His friend Tom gave it to him.
Congrats, Roy.
Dad, you're Salt Life too, aren't you?
I am. I'm
Yeah,
salt
Greg
life.
is Salt
Yeah,
Life.
I
I
fish.
forgot about that.
Boat shoes.
Yeah, I've been, halibut fishing in Alaska, that kind of
You
thing.
chartered a boat one time.
Sure I did, a couple of times.
Over the weekend, Bill Parcells was inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame at the age of 84 years old. And during his speech, he articulated that he wished he had done some things differently. I saw this recently with Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones, where you get to your 80s all of a sudden and you start re-examining both your mortality and the life it is that you've led, and where it is that you let some small grievances get in the way. So it's nice to see some of these folks put down their petty, but I did think it was interesting that Bob Kraft personally inducted Bill Parcells, because that's usually done by vote with the Patriots, and the fans had voted in Edelman. Edelman, one of the most amazing stories in the history of football, a 7th-round pick from Kent State, having those kinds of numbers. But I did think it was interesting that Kraft decided to do that with Parcells, and I wonder if he will do the same with Belichick. And I wonder how much putting Parcells in has to do with the pettiness going on right now between Belichick and Kraft, as Belichick loses 34-9 this weekend to Central Florida, and his team has no chance at any point in the game.
Well, Kraft has said that he's going to build him a statue once he retires and he's no longer an active coach. So, I think that he knows he won that situation, and he's going to honor him at some point in time. He's just still coaching.
People are enjoying what's happening to Bill, and not just
I love
Bill,
it.
but also Mike Lombardi, who has often
people hate Mike Lombardi.
Oh, Mike Lombardi has made some enemies. Mike Lombardi, when he thinks he's smarter than you, he lets it be known. He took a lot of shots at Miami this offseason too. John Gruden today on the Barstool program on FS1 gave this quote when being asked about Jordan Hudson being on the UNC sideline. "I've never seen anything like that, man. Mike Lombardi works for North Carolina. I've heard him criticize me several times. I'm sure he'll produce a TikTok today explaining exactly what's going on over there.
Did you guys see the AI version of him kissing? That almost got me for like a split second. Someone did an AI video because it was Jordan and Bill Belichick on the sidelines. Someone made an AI video as if like her jumping on him on the sidelines to give him like a passionate kiss. And there was like 3 seconds where I was like, and then I was like, oh, that's clearly AI.
What threw you off that it was real when you saw that the score was 34-9?
His face kind of like changed midway through.
That's a hint.
These AI videos, though, these pictures, they can do crazy things.
It's scary, aren't they?
People are enjoying that. What people aren't enjoying is that Barstool Wake Up show on FS1. It's got the lowest ratings in the history of FS1.
Takes time. Takes time to start something.
I mean, but they've been starting stuff over there that has never started with the lowest ratings in the history of FS1.
Like, they have a massive audience. It's the lowest thing they've ever done.
Because I think there's a difference between how people consume things, and I think there's a gulf of difference between how the mainstream tries to get young people to watch things and how young people actually watch things. They're not watching things on television anymore. That part seems obvious. It seems that young people are simply weaning themselves off of what is traditional television. I don't know if the rest of you have felt the way that I do. Anytime I watch CBS, the graphics on football around everything that CBS does, it looks older to me.
CBS was doing a thing yesterday.
No, I don't mean yesterday. I mean every time. Yes, no, I'm not talking about.
That was a wig.
Burleson sideburns in it seem off to you.
I'm not talking about yesterday.
But in general, I'm with you.
Yesterday was the throwback day. Was Musburger on yesterday?
He was there. He did the
You're looking live.
He did the voiceover at the start, and then James Brown welcomed him on the dais.
Mainstream television in general has a problem in that they've got a lot of old executives who are trying to figure out how to lure young people into old media. And Pat McAfee is a response to that. When you give someone the ability to use your platform, but you're just renting him, you have no ownership over him. He's not your employee. He is somebody who's got his own business and you're borrowing it. What we are seeing happen, it's not just at Fox. You guys have seen what has happened to ESPN2, right? They're just taking podcasts and putting them on television because it's just cheaper programming. It's just easier to do. And what you're looking for there, Zaz, when I say lowest ratings in the history of FS1, it almost doesn't matter because it's the late night model. You just want viral clips. Like you don't care what you want to have daily ratings, obviously, but you'll take a daily ratings hit because you just want stuff to spread on the internet because we're not doing the measurements on this stuff the way we used to.
Which I think they're finding out. Their interview today with John Gruden's doing numbers. I think there'll be more of those because the show as it stands doesn't seem like it allows itself for plenty of viral moments. I cannot believe that Chris Cote thought this video was real.
Yeah, we have on screen what Chris thought was actually happening.
Hold on, take it again, guys. Give the full screen.
Yeah.
I don't know it's fake yet. Don't know it's fake yet. Don't know it's fake yet. This is about right here. I'm like, he couldn't have been doing this.
You should be embarrassed.
How about now?
This is where I was sure it was fake.
Those limp legs, man.
I'm embarrassed for you right now.
For the first part, it's just a little kiss before they go. All right, this is a bit much. They would never do this. They know this would go viral. All right, yeah, this is AI.
This is also during a time of the game. It seems like it's just pregame.
I think it's pregame.
Pregame milling about.
Peck. All right.
Incredible. Didn't know the camera was on him.
People were enjoying, though, again, even though it happened much more quietly than week one, losing at UCF 34-9 when you're just a small underdog in that game. And I was confused as to why it is they were a small underdog in that game. Losing 34-9 to UCF, I don't even know how it is that gets fixed this season. It's not something that can be fixed this season. They're going to be bad all season, and I haven't looked at their schedule, but they're not going to be even a bowl team, are they?
No. I don't think so. They entered that program with a lot of talk.
They have a get-right game, though, in 2 weeks. They got Clemson.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And which afterwards we'll find out exactly how old Dabo is then. and how much time and how expensive it would be to fire him.
You saw that on game day, people in Miami were wishing for Nick Saban to come back for the return of Nick Saban. Did you see this? I guess you didn't from the look on your face.
No, I did not. No. I mean, please.
It wasn't on TV. This was fans interacting with Saban while he was on one of the side sets, just screaming at him. We have the video here if you want to play. You can hear the fans interacting with him.
All right, let's play that.
Come back to the Dolphins. We forgive you. It's fine. You're good. We need your help. We need your help. Come on. You got this. One more.
He gave just the hand gesture of like, no, that's not happening.
He's got a fresh coat out there, and I'm not talking about the blazer.
How old is Nick Saban now? He's over 75 years old. He looks fresh and dapper and painted con chapapote in his commercials.
I guess 47, 48 based on, the hair. But
when did he get red hair?
Geographically, or not geographically, whatever it is, biologically, he says 73 years old.
Yeah, 2 years away from the Big Five.
Look at the grin on that face when he hears Miami. Yes. Miami forgives you. Miami forgives you, says a child not old enough to offer that forgiveness.
She doesn't speak for all of us.
My favorite part about that is how quickly he dismissed it. First off, someone in Miami had something good to say about him, so he drops his little pointer. And then, Tua's on this roster. Want a natty with him? Nah, no, don't even. No, thank you. Not at all something I ever want to consider doing again with my life.
I saw him recently interviewed where he calls Tua, and I just am so out on Tua right now that this angers me. One of his favorite players he ever coached. Like, when it was talking about, like, best.
Wow, that's high praise.
Like, who's the best players you've coached? He's like, Julio. He starts naming these, like, monsters, and it's like, and Tua. And I'm just like, oh, that's so infuriating. Yeah. He's bad. I hate Tua.
Tua's bad. One of the quarterbacks that he did some winning with helped Kyle Shanahan's doing that thing again. They're 3-0. They're super hurt. It looks like they've lost Bosa for an extended period of time. They're without Kittle. They have white position players everywhere. What? They have their backup quarterback. That backup quarterback is Mac Jones, who we know is not good.
He's also hurt.
Even while winning, though, death, taxes, and a Mac Jones safety.
Dude.
I wish I could bet on
Mac
that.
Jones was so injured in that game. That dude was limping the entire time, and he got super emotional. It was actually pretty cool to see because his career has not worked out the way that he thought it would. He was, if he's out, I don't even know who the third string is. He was legitimately limping painfully that entire game, and he cried when Pinheiro hit that winner.
It's a nice cheat code that the league has where you play 9 games at the same time, and you're almost guaranteed, given how that league is, even though you'll get your occasional Seahawks-Saints game or Vikings-Bengals game, if you play 9 games, your witching hour is going to have 3 or 4 games of crazy at the end. And it just sort of erased what I was saying earlier. Go ahead and name the games worth talking about from yesterday. Name them. Go ahead.
Bucks, Jets.
I think Niners-Cardinals is interesting to talk about because of where the Niners are. And they're going to do that thing where guys start coming back in December, and they're going to be a pain in the ass to eliminate.
Now, wait a minute. You can't make 49ers-Cardinals a game worth talking about if Jags-Texans isn't a game worth talking about.
Back games. What you going to do? What you going to do when Dan judges you?
It was a battle for the top of the NFC West, Dan. Both those teams were undefeated entering that game.
Rams-Eagles.
Yep.
I cannot believe Philly came back in that game, which is a weird thing to say about a reigning Super Bowl champion, but the way that they did it just impressed me even more.
Broncos-Chargers.
Do we talk about Bears-Cowboys? Nah. Bad injury to CeeDee Lamb. I guess you understand that. I guess it's encouraging for Chicago.
It's funny to hear you say, though, that a team that has won 19 of 20, that you're surprised by how they won, but I am too.
Super surprised.
It was 26-7, wasn't it?
I mean, that's exactly how you were supposed to beat the Philadelphia Eagles with a team that we all think is like, well, that's one of the teams that can maybe be a problem. They did all the things. I'm shocked.
Play that music again, please, because there were only 4 or 5 games we're talking about.
What you gonna do when Dan judges you? Back games, back games. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when Dan judges you?